Set up. Hello, everybody. How are you doing? So that is the live stream feed here. So we got to zoom in and shift over here and get the mirroring effect, as we always do. Every time, it never fails. Zoom out. Center this where we want it. Welcome, welcome. Glad to see everybody here. Nobody's here yet, but I gotta say that anyhow because I'm excited. We're live there. We're live here. Let's see what the chat window here is saying. Oh, I should do this. I gotta do my posts and sharing and go here. Hi, everybody. Yeah, and there we go. Let's see here. Facebook has made changes. Yep. We're streaming. We're there. Let me put this out so everybody can join. If you want to chat, please come to the YouTube page. And let's tell everybody on Facebook. How is everybody on this Saturday? I'll be right with you. Sorry. Dun, dun. So copy. Post. And let's tell on the Plugin Guru page. I don't know if they get a live stream link anymore because I don't stream to live stream directly. Nope. So we'll go here, say, hey, we're live. Publish. There. It's like housekeeping. You have to do all these things. 23 of you are here already. Awesome. Welcome. Thank you for joining. And for those of you that are buying the new library, I thank you sincerely for your support. This is awesome. I love the whole way this is going, where I can release something and then the next day have a live stream showing you guys ways to use this library, ways to use these sounds. I absolutely love being able to come up with things that we haven't seen in Omnisphere before, give them to you so that we have new tools to play with, new levels of flexibility, new ways of doing things. It gets boring if you have to do things the same way every time. And so Percussa is all about exploring grooves of a percussive nature, but it's cinematic. But I'm going to show you how you can use it in a whole lot more than just cinematic situations. We're also going to look at these live templates because a lot of you haven't seen those yet, and the ability to play notes. See if I go over here and say live template, and I go to live and it's on, and I can, oh, I have to be over here on Omnisphere, of course, and let's turn on the latch page. So it's latched, and I can change to other sounds. I can latch that. And I can play these parts either live, I can have them latched, or I can just play them. I'm gonna play a chord. Then I'm gonna latch that. Let's get the groove going. Isn't that cool? Go to another a whole different instrument. All this happening interactively. I could go over here. I could go over here, add the two parts together. So it gives you this whole different way of using Omnisphere. We'll explore more of this because I also have a war template so that we can get the, let's just get this going, speed it up. So I can interactively. So I can interact, I hit stop. Start all over. So this is in Omnisphere. This is I put these two templates at the very end of the list. So make sure that you find them and play with them to get you started to using live mode, where you can just play a note, starts playing. Go to another sound. And we're going to explore this later. I've got some other ideas I want to show you in case you want to try to marry this with OMG drums. I'm going to show you how to do that. Let's check chat. I haven't even... Oh, we'll play that in a minute. What are you guys saying in chat? I haven't even said, hey, you might want to change the date on your YouTube title. Oh, yeah, this is Sunday. Wait. Oh, 5/20. I forgot to change that. Thank you. Percussa, Volume 1. Library exploration. It will update that. So how's everybody doing? I haven't even checked chat yet, so I'm going to check real quick and see what's going on. Hello to everyone. Hot in Texas, hot in California. Lots of chatting going on. My goodness. Greetings from Poland. Hi, Norther. Cool. We've got Poland in the house. Oh, Dead Can Dance just blew me away. Yeah, thank you. Glad you like it. Yeah, real time. Okay, so... Yeah, real-time update. Did the title got updated real time? Yeah, YouTube does updates pretty quickly with that stuff. It's kind of cool. Okay, so Percussa is out. It's been out for a day. A lot of you have grabbed it. I thank you ahead of time. Let me show you what the library consists of. By the way, if you don't have it, please come to pluginguru.com. My little spot on the web. Let's see. Let's minimize this, shrink this. That it all fits. Percussa is here. And you can click up here and it will take you right to the Percussa page. It is 10% off for the next week and a half or so until June 1st. There's demos I put up so you can hear it in action, and we're going to watch it in action right now. So this library, it ended up being far bigger than I thought it was going to be. I knew it was going to be fairly healthy. But the idea was this. I started this test with this percussion stuff that I imported into Omnisphere, and it was coming out really cool. And so I contacted Airwave and Exosun, Casey Baldwin, and said, guys, do you want to be a part of this? And paid them for their work. They did some really cool things to enhance the library. The idea was to make multis that have a lot going on. Let me show you something like, here's Protectionist. Make sure my tempo's at the right tempo. 125, so we slow down our tempo to 125. And right? So this is all these different elements. They're separate elements. And I actually add that kick at the end because it was just without the kick. It was like this. And I was like, it needs to have a boom. And then you can play the mod wheel. Okay, so we have all of these. There's 46 grooves that are, here's the Dead Will Dance. A friend of mine that just bought the library called this up, and it came out really cool. This is the... I actually like, for me personally, I like the remix better because it's hitting hard, man. The mod wheel brings in the claps and breaks everything down. So you have all these grooves, right? They're elements. This is 8 parts, so say you just want to use these guys for a song, and you want to not be at 139 beats per minute, you want to be at 100 beats per minute. Whole different vibe. If that's not enough, towards the end, I'm going to show you guys how you can go in and make new grooves with these sounds in milliseconds, literally. It's pretty cool. So each of these patches I saved out. Actually, Taylor Harris, my assistant, saved out each one of these. So if you are on the patch page, you can see that these are showing up in the library. So we ended up with over 250 groove elements in the BPM category. This is for, and I had the guys separate. I wanted the concept of high, mid, or low. So like this drum, kick drums are low. So if I want to go to 1, I could go to all these lows. Maybe I want to use that instead. And maybe instead of this, let's go to 8. This is using a BPM stuff. Let's have it do something like this. So I've changed the whole vibe of it. Let's go to, maybe I don't want happy shakers. So we go to 5. So I want another high. Let's have another mid frequency. Mid frequency is the wood. Wood, conga, stuff like that. So let's have it's swinging. So let's go to the ARP, bring down the swing. Maybe have it be 8th notes. Oh, you know what it is? This groove is swinging. So I have to tell these guys that are straight. Oh, and this is a 12th note groove, duh. So I got to go down here to a 8th note. I'll get it right. Give me a minute. It's not in tempo. What's going on? I've had this happen a couple times before where it... Anyway, you get the idea. I don't know why it's doing what it's doing. It does that every now and then. So you can call up these grooves and dissect them, solo parts out. Something that sounds good at 100, even though it was designed for 145. So, and this is killing my CPU, I can tell. Here, let's call up a different one. Here's rolling triplets. Also killing my CPU. Some of these are going to be heavy on the computer because there's a lot. Some use interspace, stuff like that. Rotterdam. It's supposed to be 145 and we're playing it at 100 and it sounds amazing. My computer's dying again. So, you have these things as elements, and it's very easy to pull apart, dissect them. If you want, you can start from scratch, and they all show up in the patches in the BPM area right here. Now, on top of that, I'm going to create new grooves to give you guys for free. I might even do a library for sale that's like a marriage of this and OMG drums. I don't know. There's all sorts of stuff I'm playing with because it opens up all sorts of new doors. But I wanted to give you guys all of the samples so that not only could you go in and maybe you were trying to do a tighter, more pop song and that just doesn't work, right? But you like the groove. So go to 1. Let's go to this sound. And because I saved out all of the patches, all the samples as separate patches, they all will show up when you go to the sample list for Percussa. They're all here. And they are organized where you have the radical stuff, which is from Robert Dudzik. So you want 9-inch nails, crazy, put distortion on those. Here's the boomers. You would not have these if I didn't make a patch for every one. That's why there's 700 patches, because all 438 samples in the library right here are saved and are included with the library so that you have access to them. So you can go to the kicks. Then we gotta look to see what is going on because Airwave does all sorts of tricky things. Turn off the filter. Maybe just want this, right? So we simplified it, we're using a different kick. So you have access to go to the molecular level and change the samples. And then I could have this whole groove playing, go to this part, change the kick. Find the right vibe that I want. There's a whole bunch of different kick variations to choose from. I'm killing stylists with this library. Yeah. I love RMX, so I don't want to, there's nothing bad to say about RMX. It's just that it's old and there's no new grooves and haven't been new grooves for years. So if it's on the, here's new grooves to play with, so I killed RMX, I guess that's true. And it works really great next to RMX, which we're going to show you in a little bit. So let me initialize this multi real quick. Give you there's some special secret things in this library. We'll look at the multis in a second because the multis are where everything really shines. But all of the bass drums, all the boomers, these subs, I put, just so you know, in the comments for the subs, there is a warning. Please be careful with your speakers because Robert Dudzik made some, these are seriously in your face, super crazy low frequency subs. Listen to that. I even turned down the output just a little bit so it's not 100%. Listen to that. and I put distortion, everything has the mod wheel doing something. So, okay. Then after the bass drums are all the BPM. These are things that have the arpeggiator turned on. Has to have the arpeggiator turned on. Even if it's something like this where we set it to cycle. If you set your clock to be slow, you can make it so it takes 4 majors before it cycles and then does other stuff. So that's just one patch. And because they were part of the multi, it's like OMG drums where everything started at the multi and we programmed the daylights out of these so that the mod wheel did cool things to the sound. So when I save out the patches, all that mod wheel assignment stuff is with the patches. So each one of these, the mod wheel is doing crazy things to the sounds, right? And again, since it's the arpeggiator, I can go any tempo I want. Sounds great. So the BPM, here's all the high. Oh, this is a cool trick. This is a triangle, and I did some tricks just to get the shape of it right so it sounds like a metal hit. So all the high, ride cymbals, rolling hi-hats, tambourine. This one where it's a tambourine, then the mod wheel brings in a ride cymbal. So you have wood, you have cymbals, all sorts of stuff. Low. All the bangers. And again, to get the bangers to really work, it's not just one, it's elements. You need the mid frequency bang, then you need the sub boom bang. So if I had this on one part, go to stack, turn it on, go to part 2, and let's add another low that's gonna be more the boom. And now you start getting into the cinematic kind of stuff, right? Right? So you can mix and match and make stuff so, it's really fun. So let's go to 3, let's add a mid, like a, so if I want to go to the sequencer, and now since I have transposing, I could like, oh, if it doesn't change pitch, it's because the transpose is off. Tune it down. This needs huge reverb on it, so let's go over here. Let's have the high frequency die out. Cool. So it's painlessly fun to make new grooves with all of these multis and all these patches. So I've saved everything out on molecular level so that it's not just these multis and you're stuck with them. You have every element that was used to make the multis, high, low, and mid. This is where you get all the some noise things that are what's this? Oh, gotta wait. Some toms. Then after that, after we get through all the BPM stuff, there's some of the BPM basses that are from some of the patches. Here's one Airway did that's really cool. Because I put chords. So you can go to the chords, these melodics. Oh wait. Stay on Percussa. All these melodics. I'll tell you a secret. Most of this source is from Super Macho drums. So I pulled bits and pieces and hits and vocal sounds, all sorts of things out for the samples. Probably 80% of this library is things that you've never known about in super macho drums because it's not the big snares, the big kicks and hi-hats. It's all the other stuff to be used in kind of cool, creative, different ways. It was like, what can I do with these samples that I haven't done before? Yeah, don't kill RMX. RMX is still necessary. It can do some cool things with this library with RMX that we'll look at if we have time. After you get through all this stuff, there's chords. There's supposed to be chords. Oh, it's hiding on the mod wheel. Oh, bad Skippy. I went through the whole library and I missed this. You have to bring up these sliders here. So it's an Easter egg patch. So go to Deadlay and you can have it like this. Then you bring up the mod wheel. And also you'll notice this is using a Mega Magic pad sample. This is the only one that has a outside library sample as far as I know. But bell trees, these are just his hits. This is ride cymbals, hats. There's all sorts of weird hats, not just normal hats, but there's stick hits, scrapes. Some of those are from duct tape. I sampled duct tape a couple years ago for Korg. And I made like 900 samples and we used 20. So, it's my birthday present on Tuesday. Buy an early present. I just got a text from Robert Dudzik, who's watching the live stream. He loves it. Loves it. Get ready for Percussa Volume 2. So Robert Dudzik, who made these really cool radical, there's these radical snares. We're going to do later this year a volume. So this is like synthesized orchestral. The samples, there's no big... There's some, but not a lot of work. Yeah, Super with Percussa with Super Macho drums is great. So you get the idea. There's drills. I didn't use these in anything, but they're there. I think Airwave used them. There's water hits. And another secret I will tell you about. It's not a secret because I'm going to tell you. Everything that says tuned has a sine wave hiding on layer B, so I went through all 700 patches and found everything that was tuned and set it up so that the drum is in tune, but then I added a sine wave to layer B, which at this point you could then go and change to a sample, or you could choose any of the synthesizer waveforms. Because there's tons of EDM synthesizer sounds hiding in here because of the use. It's a conga. Combine that with a sine wave and you have a really killer attacky synth. Okay? So that's another one of the Easter eggs, is that there is everything that says tuned through the whole library. Look at all these. Took forever. Wouldn't believe how long it took to go through everything and set this up. Some of these are cool just by themselves. And the mod wheel adds distortion and reverb. Okay, so there's 712 patches. The reason there's so many patches is I wanted all of these samples. I wanted you to have that sample. And if I didn't make a patch using that sample, when I go to the publishing of this library as a .omnisphere file, it only spits out the samples that are used in patches or multis. If they don't exist in a patch or a multi, then it just ignores them. So I could have a folder with 2,000 sounds, and I make 20 patches. If you build an Omnisphere file or you share files with someone, it's going to spit out only the things for those 20 patches. It's not going to spit out all the samples that you had. So I needed to make patches for everything. So I did, so that you have them. All right, so there's 712 patches. The reason there's so many patches is to give you guys all the samples. Let's go through the library of multis. This is one of the last multis I did. I'm just thinking of our crazy world we live in, and I wanted something that made me feel really good to play. So and the mod wheel does a really cool thing. It takes the bass, goes away. It's still there, but it's filtered. All the low end's out, and the woodblock comes out. And the kick drum comes back. So this bass sound has a really cool thing happening. I love using the power filter. It's a high pass filter. If I show, I have just a little bit of resonance happening with the mod coming up. Listen to the sound it makes. If I want to make that stronger, I can just bring this up higher. Getting a little distorted, so you bring down the drive a little bit. Did I have any sync stuff happening? No. There's sync here, but it's not changing with the mod wheel. So if I go to here and turn off that effect, it's gone. There's no sound to the filter, which I could have done. I could have easily gone over here, go to the wheel. It's muted because I like the high pass filter thing, but I could go modulate this with the wheel. Now, if I did that, that's got more energy going into this high pass filter. Let's look at this setting here. Bring it back down a little bit. It's a whole different vibe. So if we hear that in the mix, listen now, since it's got the bright stuff. It's cool, but I'm not able to do that thing with the woodblock taking over, so I didn't want to have any brightness changing. Okay, so kind of a poppy Shadow of Death. It's cool. This is one that shows a bug. I think it's a bug. There's this sound right here on part 3. Because the ARP is for a long time playing, if I play and then take my hand off, this is gonna keep playing. Until it gets to the end. But you can use it as a trick. Just be aware, when you take your hand off the keys on this one, part 3 just keeps going. And the only way you could stop it is by muting it or turning down the volume or some other way. You have to control the volume. Because the ARP grabs it. And sometimes with the ARP, if you have a part playing and then you take off your off and you play again, sometimes it won't play because the ARP doesn't retrigger. It's not fail-safe. It's a little unsure, but I kind of like those kind of quirks. Sword of Samba. Jungle Crazy. is using a noise snare that Airwave did. I just added at the end. It used to be just like this, and I was like, better the snare. So the mod wheel again does cool stuff. It sounds like a... So this is doing a thing where I have this sound right here to the wheel. And if you set the intensity, it has to be these values. 0.125 is a perfect octave. 0.250 is 2 octaves. Well, as you can see, if you take this all the way up to the higher values like 1, it goes way sky high. There's some sort of this is one thing in a future update they could do to make this so it showed like more understandable values. So you have to hold down shift. If you don't hold down shift, I don't think you can get to 125. You get to 120. And then you hold down shift and then you go by ones and you get to 125 so that you can do an octave. Okay. Waiting for the moment. Yes, reload. And this is one of them that's using the auxiliary effects really cool. When I let back down on the mod wheel, there's all this cool delay, filtery, yummy stuff. Just let my hands off. Keeps going. Okay. I like that one. Third World Marketplace. So we haven't gotten to the chase stuff. This is more the happy scenes. Here's cinematic transfer, so we go faster. So let's go to 125. And middle C is kind of the target for playing the grooves. Yeah, I don't know if I will support Output stuff because they're a library company that makes libraries. So I'm kind of torn whether to support them or not. That's something I've been thinking about, but at the moment they're not standalone plugins, so supporting them is like, I don't know, and they do such a good job supporting them with their own libraries. So we'll see. Here's Fireball Roundup. This was started as a YouTube video. Happy Orbit Fairies. This is kind of... I showed this last week. This is using the, I think it's here. Yeah, right here. Mod wheel up. No matter what I play, it's still supporting the key of F. That's why it's called Fairies, to remind you to play in the key of F. Because the key of F, it matches the chords. So, Magic Orbit Fairies is cool for the key of F. If you try to play in another key, you're kind of dancing around F, which is fun too. It's always F. If I play C, the underlying chord of that one part, part 4. Now you can change that. Go to part 4. Here's your pitch. And you could go here to the presets. Say we want to be change the key to whatever you want. I was sitting with Eric. He was showing me Omnisphere 2 early before it came out. And these parameters like this, you could right click and assign a modulation source to them so that it would change the key by a mod source. And it would have been so cool if they could have kept it. But you can't have a pop-up and a modulation source at the same time, so they had to change that. But for a little while there, you could change like the distortion types by a LFO. It could be cycling through all the distortion things, but that went away. But that's how you change the chords, the intervals. And the second page over here shows you the volume of each of those elements, the overall level, spread for stereo imaging, and the tone. So you can get all sorts of really cool chord things happening because they did keep so that the modulation source could be assigned when you right click on the knobs. It could be mod envelopes. So when I first call up this and I play part 4, I'm getting some harmonic stuff changing, right? That's because part 4, hello, part 4. This right here is assigned to mod envelope 4. So if we go look at mod envelope 4, it's doing this harmonic shift. So I can change this to anything I want. And you can do that to all 4 knobs. So you can get extremely carried away if you want. It's really fun. Painless medical seizures. Yeah, that just doesn't hurt. Come here. You're not done taking your medicine yet. Where'd that patient go? Run! Oh my God, where'd he go? Where'd he go? Where'd he go? Sorry. Protectionist. And again, this is faster. So 125, go up to 135. Off to where we go. Oh wait, go blame yourself. We should play that for a second. All sorts of cool delay tricks. Off to where we go. This is when I did an Oceanside. While sitting looking at this pretty ocean, making war things. And then there's a synth element to this. Isn't that cool? Okay, so War, Black Magic Bank Heist is 140. You can see the guy sitting there trying to deal with the combination. I imagine it being witches because it turns into kind of the supernatural thing when you... Triangles come out. I think it's this sound here. So it goes from nothing. So these two sounds together just... So I have it coming down in pitch for the triangle as well as changing other settings. And if you play the mod wheel, so again, elements are really cool. Going for noise is just absolutely insane. Airwave did this. And we're starting to get into the bass. You're starting to run for your life kind of thing. From here on up, you're in trouble. There's so much going on. So if you take the one part out, all the crazy stuff kind of gets a little bit more controlled. It's all made with noise. I think many of these patches are nothing but noise. Airwave loves noise. So there are some parts that have drums, but a lot of it is going for noise. So that's why it's called ground. All right. Hot Tom Jungle Chase. Mod Wheel has a tom fill. That's fun. Jungle Run on Trappist 1, I believe it called this. This is like for those ESPN sports shows. Bill can ride a motorcycle 500 miles an hour and do these. The sounds together make such really cool hits. I love this one. This is Dead Vlay. One of the places. Oh wait, no, this is Detroit Trap Test. Dead Vlay's coming. This has a synth part, so you can play. And it's killing my computer. You get the picture. Dead Will Dance. I did this earlier. And when the mod wheel goes up, you just hit the pad. So you can go back between the two. And then version 2 is the remix. It's just a groove and mod hand claps. Came out great. A Million Lies. Cool stuff. Dark Waters. Exosun did this. All right. Manhunt to the Cave. In the Cave. I love the upbeat feel of this. It's just got a great. And again, you can solo out. Just the groove elements. And again, take this down to 100. There's some great dance stuff written to be written there. All right. Rolling triplets. This is a big one. Again, my darn computer. It's cracking here. I don't know how that sounds to you guys, but hopefully you can hear it for appreciation's value because it's got a really cool thing going. Okay, Catch You, They Kill You. Crazy Insane Breakdown. You're in control of when you want the toms to take off. Dark space. Exosound. More sci-fi kind of, you know. Get some Borgs happening. Deadley at night. The Deadley Forest. There's one place I want to visit one of these days. This is in Namibia, on the western side of Africa. And it's nighttime and the forest wakes up. And that big boom becomes white noise. Then it's back to daytime. Rats. Dystopian halls. Oh, Man Fighter's here. Oh, we gotta play his demo. Check this out. So Man Fighter is this wonderful Bob Dides. I think you live in Greece still. He does demo songs for me, and he is extremely talented. And I have this screen capture I'm going to share with you. Let's see, it's open in preview. Let's play while he's here. I didn't see that he showed up. Awesome. So if I resize this will show you how to use this library in a big production kind of a context. Because this takes so much CPU power, if you noticed, a lot of stuff's been bounced down as audio. There's no way most computers will play multiple omnispheres playing multiple big cinematic drums taking up all the samples, the effects, and everything that are going on. So watch this and then listen to the demo at the same time, and you can hear what was done to make this happen. So here we go. I was hoping Bob would show up, so this is awesome timing. Bob, I hope you don't mind. Yes, this is Cubase. I believe Bob uses Cubase. You can ask him because he's right there in the chat on YouTube. So here we go. Here's the demo. Came out really cool. This is called Outcast. Right here. Right here. Come right here. Right here. Isn't that cool? So that's using mainly, or here's the naked version so you can hear. This is just Percussa. The naked version, so you can kind of see big hits. So there's other stuff added on top of this. But the body of the groove is Percussa. So a lot of audio chopped up into pieces. So there you go. That's Outcast using Percussa. And normally Bob does everything with just orchestral cinematic samples and stuff. So, yeah, ADO stuff on top for some of the sticks and additional things is really cool. So it's really well done. Really well done. Made me want to like run for my life. Like somebody's definitely trying to kill me. So job well done, dude. Okay, so we can get back to showing the multis. But I wanted to take a minute to show that. And I was wondering if because Bob has a whole bunch of really cool songs on YouTube, as well as through SoundCloud. He's very talented. He needs to be doing full film scores, in my opinion. Anyway, you guys keep chatting over there in the chat stream. I'm going to show a couple more things here with the library because we're up to Dystopian Halls. So we're at 150. Time for more scary. Cool. Hyperdrive cooldown. Totally falls apart. Looking for lunch. The cheetah's out in the desert in the Serengeti, I guess. Then the mod wheel slowly coming up. Is that contemplating before they take off? Okay. Losing blood quickly. Bad situation, man. And the mod wheel does this cool thing with the pitch. I want to be like this ambulance. Okay, March of the Orcs. This is another one that I was looking at a beautiful ocean on a sunny day, trying to picture taking off for war. Combination orcs and Terminator, or aliens. That's the main evidence. Like that pause. That lets it kick. And on the mod wheels, hidden stuff. They go away with the mod wheel down. Okay. Painful Weight. There's different elements that come in. I like Ghost Race Car. It's a cool sound. Play a note. Gotta wait. It's got this resonant filter that's sweeping and then it's going through effects, so it like carries it out. This sample, by the way, Stinger 23, initialize the multi. This Stinger was created over 25 years ago, 24 years ago. When I worked for Korg, we had, I used to work in Canoga Park in Los Angeles, and we had a service center. And this guy brought in this M1 that something had gone terribly wrong with. Where's the Stingers? 23. What? Oh, I'm on the wrong part. Go to part 1. Go to Stinger. And the M1 had, the circuit board had been cracked. And so it was playing really weird bit resolution things. We were able to get all sorts of weird noises and stuff out of it. That was one of the sounds that we got. So just so you know, some of these sounds have been around for a very long time. We were got through all this, triplets, delay, painful wait. I think this is painful wait, right? Yeah. Here's Selectronics. Yep, 25 years ago. Been at this for a while. Turbo Kid. I joined Korg when I was like 23 years old. No, 24, 25, I think. Is it 1988? So it's 24. Here's Dance with a Half Pipe. This is another one that kills the computer, so hopefully you can play. The filtering. Okay, now it just gets insane. So here's Dehumanizer. Which I think is cool, because when you bring the mod wheel up, it's like human element comes into it. EVP. Okay, Kid Anthem, don't talk about what you're working on. So here's Ladders Exploding. Crazy loud. But it's not overdriving or distorting. I went through and level corrected everything, so there's a lot going on. Okay, Cannibal. This is one of the first ones I made. Like, can you do this stuff with the sounds that I had? I could, so yay. And what's cool, this was like a tested concept with the synthesis engine. This has the LFOs. You know, the reasons why you can do this in Omnisphere versus just being a sample library in Contact or something, you know? All right, 160. Okay. Here's Guardians of the Mini Market. It's cute. Actually, it's scary, but cute. Hear that groove? That's part of what you heard inside of Man Fighter's music, Bob's demo song. Right? We had... So that's where it came from. Cool. Very cool. Here's Angry War Machines. Pipes and Corridors. And again, even if we were to record out just hits, like record that as a hit, that's really cool. Make a library just hits doing that. It's all good, kid. It's all kid. Let's see here. So what do we want to do next? I want to show you guys the live jam stuff. So these are used, which with live, you've got a cool ability to have parts that you can play. When Spectrasonics typically shows this, they show it where they're playing like if we were to go to, let's say, instead of a quarter note shaker, let's go to the Omnisphere library. Let's do something like a... Oh, shoot. I'm calling it multis. 1 second. Go here to Percussa, to the jam template. Okay. Turn on the latch mode so we can see what's going on. So I could go to part 8, go to patch 8. There you go. Now you can change to the library. And with latch turned on, back to the patches. So I can have these sounds that I'm playing while other parts are playing. Latch that. I can now go to the and I can play the mixes. I could latch this. Go to the pulse. 1, 2. And again, it's all tempo based in the sequencer. And I also have quantize on, which is a cool feature. Also has a stop button right here, which will stop all the latches all at once, which is really handy. What's cool is you can set this up to be a trigger. That's how you get it so that it plays. If I have these off, by just clicking here with your simple mouse button, it allows you to trigger anytime you want. And so now I have to play perfectly in timing. See, I didn't play perfectly in timing. So it's off a little bit. If you're gonna play the part live, then you want to don't have it quantized, typically. But if you want, I use beat a lot. And if you do that, you have to do that to everything. That's the only thing. Is once you start setting things to trigger, most of the parts need to be set to trigger. Because this is referencing a timing value that doesn't match up to the absolute clock. Now it does. Now this is immediate. See how it doesn't sound right? The cool thing with the latch mode, if you play a note, you can play it again and it stops that note. So if you remember what note you played, you can go in and you can stop parts. So you can have oh, see, this is quantized and this isn't, right? So let's set this to quantize. Now it's guaranteed to be in time every time you play it. So if you're using rhythmic stuff, you really want to make sure you set up these timing values. Okay? Yeah, this area of Omnisphere is something a lot of people might not know about. So the ability to go into these parts for jamming, just hanging out and doing cool things. It's so fun to find your favorite sounds. Let's go to something like Omnipulse. All my libraries have lots of BPM stuff because I like. I'm gonna kill my computer, you know what? So let's set this to triggered. Let's play a chord. So it's doing sync. And let's say we don't want dead play, we want a different patch. So let's go over here to 4. To the pads. So you can mix and match the elements in a live setting that's really fun. So you can then go back to live and call up the first bass part. It's great for songwriting, getting ideas. There's a lot of people that use this when they play live. You can use a foot switch to change patches, to change multis. Need to spend some time. Yeah, so this is a really fun, creative place to hang out. So I have 2 templates. There's one which is the slower jam, and then War is one of the faster jams. And again, if the latch light is on, then it's latched. So those parts are latched. I could go over here to this part that's not latched. So you can do the orchestral cue kind of things, right? I tried. I couldn't get I wanted a different kind of brass. This is like M83. I wanted more of the big, bright, you know, if I combined this with this, it'd be really cool. That type of thing would be fun. But we don't have those brass knobs here to play with, so. Just don't have them, so there you go. All right, let's see if anybody has questions. I want to show some other stuff as we go along, but I want to make sure that we get questions answered if we're talking percussive stuff. I want to show the idea of marrying this with OMG drums a little bit. I think there's some really cool possibilities. I haven't even explored a whole lot with that, so we're going to do that some. The way you would do that, ideally, would be, oh, I need to close this. That's part of it. I've got multiple live streams. Oh, okay. That will help. So what we're going to do is call up a second omnisphere. We'll call it up here on this track. So the idea behind this would be that you would go into Omnisphere to OMG drums to the multis, and you would surf around and you would find a drum groove that you wanted to combine with percussion grooves, right? So let's say, let's go down here to more of the dubstep dance kind of stuff. And you would look at the loops, because the loops are playing across the whole keyboard with all the groove parts, right? Hip hop. Let's use the. That'd be kind of fun. So mute this part, right? Because we don't want to think about that. But we want this kick. What if we could put that into Percussa to play with, right? You can. All you do is go part one, go copy the part, not the layer. We're not looking at layers. Copy part. Well, actually, you know, it would be even easier. Here, let's make it even faster. So you would take this and you would go to, I want to keep these three parts, right? But I don't want 4, 5, and 6. I don't think. I could keep that. But part 5, I know we don't want. So go to part 5, change your library to Percussa, and go looking through the BPM stuff. That's kind of cool. See what's doing. I think there's a bit resolution. Oh, it's a noise hit. Cool. So go to part 6. Part 6. Go to Percussa. Let's find something else. Maybe there's some high energy thing that's going to mix it up a little bit. There we go. And part 4. Let's replace part 4 with another mid thing, something fun. So let's go to Percussa. Go to the tuning. Yeah, cool. Again, since all the samples are there, you could start, make sure that you go over first and click Percussa so it stays in Percussa. But you could cycle. Till you find something interesting, you know? Ah, this is a tricky one. Using the velocity switch to get some cool things happening. So I turned off the filter. Check this out. Oh, that airwave, he does such cool, tricky things. So this is 30-second note arpeggiator. You don't hear these softer ones until you bring up the mod wheel some. Because they're below the register of the filter cutoff. Have this down. Have the velocity filter sensitivity to velocity really high. That's how you get the B1 accent feel. So you can get different timing value things happen with that. Cool. And this is 139. Let's say maybe like 95 beats per minute. And maybe the snare, we want it to be a 2 and 4 instead of a dubstep tempo. So you'll find this. There's a thing called starters, where you can go down here to say snares on 3s, which is what we have now, or say snares on 2s and 4s. So now I have this really cool groove that used to be a dubstep groove with no percussion elements that I got. So Percussa's given me these parts. Now you can go to part 5. So you can get cool groove stuff happening with these elements in really no time at all. So starting with OMG drums, one of these grooves here is a great way to go, because when I saved the patches for OMG drums, I don't think I saved them with the ARP on, because I thought, like, just for the kits, it'd be cool to have, there's these kits inside of the OMG drums library. I'm going to be making kits for Percussa. That's one of the free downloads that will be coming probably next week. Let me see. I just want to get to the point where I can move around. Yeah, you can get there. Don't worry. You can just spend time with it. There you go. Any other questions? I need another beer. We have a lot of good. Did you make a collection of ARPs and mods? No, I did not. I did not yet. That's something I can do, probably for the bonus downloads, is to pull out the arpeggiator patterns so that you have access to them to mix and match, because it's very fun to do that. The other thing that I wanted to show that's really cool is this. The idea of using RMX. Here we bring in RMX because it has MIDI files. And that can be really handy. Check this out. So if we go to Percussa here, let's initialize everything. So we're just dealing with one part, because I don't want to get too complicated, because this can get complicated really easy. Initialize, go to one part, have it play like a mid. Yeah, there's a cheery sound. Let's use that delay on. Like, what do we got going on? Oh, long wait. Okay, here we go. So we have, this is the driven wood claps. Bring up the module to get claps. Now, if I wanted to, the idea is this. I call up Stylus RMX. Okay, so here's Stylus. Let's see, I gotta zoom out some more. Get more real estate for this to work. Here's Stylus. And we could go through all of the different various percussive grooves. Just the core library, groove elements. Let's say maybe some of the djembes or congas. There's all these different grooves. Here's a straight ahead. So if I wanted to have percussa, right? It's nowhere near that. But here is this place where you've got this is a current pattern. I'm going to strength 100% to whatever MIDI file I drag here. Take this MIDI file, drag it here. So I have that timing. And I could take out parts. And it's set to the timing of the MIDI file. So let's choose a different MIDI file. How about a shaker? So let's go down here to the shaker patterns. Say I want that groove. So just click, drag it to here and let go. So I have the ability to take any MIDI file in RMX from all of these elements, from all of the big grooves. If I wanted to have, let's change. Right? So I got this thing happening like this. It's kind of a cool. Let's go to RMX. This will be really fun to, I haven't even done this yet, but if we go to the full grooves, RMX grooves. Say I want that feel. Click and drag. So we play this. So I got that feel now to play with for any groove inside of RMX. Let's take this groove, drag it over so you can have RMX playing. Two, three. So yeah, I don't know why it's not cycling around quite right, but MIDI file timing events coming from over here. Let's go like here. Let's go blank. And then make this full length. And then if I drag this in, it doesn't play. Interesting. Well, if I said to be the default, so it's playing every note, right? And now, well, it's not playing every note. Let's use mine, where we go down here to the default starter at 16th notes. So every timing value is represented there. If I go to something that's not 16th notes for everything, okay, right? So if I put that over here. hi-hat-ish. So we need to go percussa. You got to remember to click that. Woody-ish, metallic-ish, hi-hat-ish. That's strange. So I'm I like that. So go back to the ARP and go surfing through here for all the grooves. These are all just templates waiting to be used, man. So drag that over here. It'll change it. So if you can't program rhythms and you have Stylus RMX and Omnisphere, you can create all sorts of rhythmic ideas using all of these MIDI files. Every single groove here and every element of that groove is a MIDI file. So it's really cool that there's this marriage between these two plugins to do so much together and give you all sorts of places to work with. Any MIDI file. Yeah, RMX is just giving me my source for MIDI files. If we wanted to do this with something closer to home, let's use Super Macho Drums, because Super Macho Drums has the same thing built into it. So if we go to Contact 5, and we were to go to Super Macho Drums, just call up any kit to get us a kit, right? Because then we can get to the groove player. So let's make all these windows go away. We don't need any of that stuff. Go to the groove player. Where's my MIDI grooves, single grooves, say pop rock or something. Say I want to swing. So all I have to do is drag this MIDI file from here and let go. And go to Omnisphere and we're there. So any of the grooves you come up with over here, there's no swing here. There we go. And we're in. Drag over here. See? So it's pretty cool. That marriage between MIDI files and the arpeggiator in Omnisphere. So you don't have to use just the default arpeggiator. This timing value is nice, but it's very arpeggiated. If you want to have a little bit more sauce, drag over a MIDI file from either here. There's drum MIDI files you can find on the internet for free all over the place. So very fun. When will Spectre finally redesign the GUI? Go RMX and Percussa. It doesn't look like it fully brings over the MIDI files. It doesn't bring velocity. No. It's just timing events and when they play. The other thing that's crazy, if you want to get this into outside of the Percussa land, they've shown this in the past. I've shown this in the past. It's really cool to do this. Check this out. So if we go to a patch, just using MIDI files as our concept here, so we're not too far off tangent. Let's bring down the amp volume and then modulate this with mod envelope 4. Go over here to the little magnifying glass to mod 4, right? Take this MIDI file and just drag it over the top and let go. And there's a timing. And you can do that to anything. You could say this groove, drag over here. It's so cool. Because now you can go to different samples. You can go to all sorts of things. You want to emphasize this even more, have the filter come down, and then modulate this with that same envelope by just going down here to the list. So that kind of power is, I don't know where else you could go to drag MIDI files over the envelopes to change the timing values. And then have a groove played from Percussa. Get to a mid frequency or a hi-hat, some high energy. And go over here to turn on stack mode, oh not live mode, but stack mode. What stack mode does is it tells it to ignore this MIDI file that's set, or the MIDI channel 1, MIDI channel 2, MIDI channel 3, MIDI channel 4. They all automatically are 1, even though they're set to 4 MIDI channels. If you turn this off, now the 4 parts will play, but they have to be on 4 different MIDI channels. But by turning this to on, and let's go to the timing of this arpeggiator and this MIDI file and drag it, and now the Percussa groove matches the synth groove, which matches the MIDI file inside of so you can have a really cool, wholly synergized combination between super module drums or whatever your drum thing is with a MIDI file and Omnisphere and Percussa and OMG drums. They all work together really well. It's really cool. So I hope that conveys across in this video. In the midst of showing the library, just want to show what everything you can do. Does it work with all the envelopes? Yes. Yeah, it works with every envelope. Any envelope in Omnisphere that you come to. The filter envelope, if I want it to be a MIDI file, boom, boom. If I wanted another art pattern over here to be a different groove, say I wanted a swinging groove, boom. There's a swinging groove, and then I could find ways to like put the swinging groove of Aleph, that's mod 1, right? So I could have that do, I don't know what I would do to it, but yes, every envelope can be a different MIDI file. So it's very powerful. Cool, well, I hope you guys see the power of this. It's really fun to go exploring, come up with your own big cinematic moments. Film score guys who should be really happy to have these types of tools to play with. Songwriting people, it's fun to take things that are made for cinema and totally change them to be used for other musical applications and genres and things that haven't been done before. It's all about new ideas, new things to play with, new territory. All right, I think we're out of here. So thank you so much for your support. I'm so glad that this is done. It's a lot of work, but it's not. We're not done. I am going to make kits so that each one of these will be available with the notes to play across the keyboard in a certain range, so that the idea is maybe the same MIDI file that you sequence when you change kits will kind of play and kind of sound interesting, at least, right? And we'll pull out templates, the arpeggiator patterns. We can do that. I also am going to be creating at least a couple new multis that I will include in the future with the library, using the samples. One thing that I want to point out, these samples they're in here as patches. These are the Robert Dudzik, the Radical. That's the library that if you go to Super Macho Drums, it's free. It's on the net waiting for you to download. If you go here and you go to the kits, and here's Radical Special Effects Kit. These samples these all exist inside of Omnisphere, inside of the Percussive library as patches. So you would go to Percussa. See, we go through when anything you see Radical. Oh, Athena. My dog's crying. These are all the Percussa hits. Oh, wait, I'm on the, here we go. There. I'm like, why isn't it changing when I'm changing? The subs. Go down to the snares. There's one hi-hat sample in the hat category. Towards the end of the hi-hat is right here. Huh. It's here. I know it's here somewhere. I'll find it to make sure. But when you get to the snare, SNR, special effects. No, it's just snares. I just put them as snares. So snare drums. So these all exist. I'm going to make multis. We'll make a couple multis to add to the library using these really cool special effects sounds along with the other samples in Percussa. Those will be free. I kind of like doing things after releasing the library like this because these things show up on torrent sites so fast, and I like putting out stuff that they don't have on the torrent sites. So you don't have the full version, you know? Just one tricking words. Wallpapers. I got to read back what Clark was talking about. Wallpapers. Oh, yeah, you did those. That's right. I do have wallpapers to give out to people. So we'll work on that. There's so much going on. Good times. Thank you for watching. Thank you for your support. Thank you for hanging out. And we will see you in the next live stream, okay? Be well, have fun, groove your butt off, okay?